As a gaming content creator or commentator, whatever you want to call it, I just really hate to see all of the current negative stigma around the video game industry in general. Yeah, most of my videos are probably me talking about it or, entertaining it, but please believe when it's not about me questioning my existence after experiencing copy and pasted games at full retail price, I really mean that shit. Like, I just have way too much fun on the daily in my life playing my normal rotation of games. Like, I got the backlog of PlayStation 3 titles that I've been trying to truck through. For some reason, I find myself playing The Sims 2 again. Don't even ask. And obviously, like most of the community, I've been enjoying my time playing the newly released Palworld game, even though now that Nintendo's goons are officially involved in investigating, how much longer we all have left to do that is kind of up in question. So when I'm having a good time, casually committing my usual animal labor war crimes, my vibe comes down just a little bit when I look over and have to read things like today's announcement saying that there has been, more layoffs at Microsoft's gaming division. The mega company that now owns other big gaming businesses like Blizzard, Bethesda, Activision, basically whatever studio that can easily be influenced by the endless supply of those Bill Gates bucks. Now, I'm sure that most of you have probably already heard that, the gaming industry is suffering probably the worst, wave of job layoffs in general. Like, these companies have been on some serious 90s Vince McMahon timing for like damn near 6 months now. And I've talked about the multiple reasons for this happening in detail in the previous video, but this recent Microsoft layoff DLC was the result of the aforementioned gaming business acquisition of Activision Blizzard, to where Microsoft, they had to cut jobs that would apparently overlap with each other once the studios finally merged together, basically ceasing their need to exist anymore. And of course, the layoffs are, always a sad thing to see every time it happens. Working on video games is a dream job for a lot of people, but to see how flimsy and uncertain a good career is nowadays is undoubtedly shaky for the entire future of gaming. However, even though this is all mostly an internal issue, kind of deviated away from us being the players, a new report has surfaced in the light of these layoffs, which might actually have a really pivotal change for all Xbox players going forward. A change that's really a wake-up call for the age of gaming that we're in right now and what the future might hold for all games for every platform going forward. So, since the job layoffs are pretty much the bulk of the big news floating around right now, people might not have noticed what was low-key going on in the background with Microsoft's business, at least other than Hitman 3 leaving Xbox Game Pass in a few days. What the fuck, Microsoft? However, as reported by one of Windows Central's journalists, 𝘕𝘕-𝘊𝘊𝘐𝑗, on top of his initial report detailing the Microsoft gaming division layoffs, he also added earlier today on Twitter that Microsoft apparently shut down whole departments dedicated to bringing Xbox games to physical retail outlets. Basically saying that while Microsoft might not, completely be on the verge of ending physical releases, they are likely taking serious steps towards ending the era of games on disc format and go fully into the digital only market, something that they're already damn near in with the Xbox Series S console. Now, for some watching, that move might seem kinda, RKO out of nowhere, but if you remember, a few months back, I also talked about a leak where Xbox games would soon no longer be sold physically at Walmarts anymore. Something that didn't hold too much weight at the time, but, unfortunately, it looks like this might be the current move right now. And this digital-only move might not seem like the worst thing for gamers, since not everyone cares to dedicate the space for game cases anymore, or once you're completely done with the game, it's like, damn, what am I gonna do with that? But physical releases still do play a huge role in the grand scheme of keeping what gaming is today. Whether it's with preserving these titles so that they'll always be available somehow, even if the developers decide to, wipe the game off of all digital markets, or even with the argument that since retail and digital distribution creates a competitive market, having all digital games might make them even more expensive than they currently are, since they won't really have any real competition on the prices that they charge. I already know every piracy demon watching just took that last statement personal. But seriously, it is a huge thing that players are scared for right now on social media, since the physical game community is obviously still alive and well, and the digital game market poses a really real threat for the future of gaming. Now, of course, nothing is set in stone. Microsoft hasn't even officially came out and said anything yet themselves, so this all could be reversed or something. And I just honestly hope that is the case, because I just don't want to live in a world where games are only available via online stores. Imagine you buy a collector's edition of a game just to open up the case and get a Steam key for a download. Like, what type of anticlimactic shit is that? So hopefully Microsoft does more consideration on the part of the players for this possible move and delay the honestly inevitable era of digital games that we're going to see at some point. But we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for Xbox going forward. So what do you guys think about, all these physical games and them being canceled, man? Feel free to comment down below. As always, if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next one.